Creating detailed drawings can often be a time-consuming process. Whether or not you're creating one drawing or 100 drawings, any amount of time saved creating your detailed views or adding tables or notes can drastically increase the amount of time you can spend designing rather than creating your drawings. Let's take a look at some of the updates for 2019 and where we can save some time in creating these drawings. The first update I want to mention is something called removed section. If you create a section view on your model, this section view is going to create some construction geometry, and you're simply going to be able to drag your view out left and right. And if you need just a small slice of this, you need to work on section depths and creating exactly what you need in terms of slicing that section. Well, in 2019, we no longer have to create this construction geometry, and we can quickly make removed section views by selecting two references and pulling our view down to a location that suits us. Also note that as I drag this around, you can see that the section is following the cursor. So let's go ahead and place this view down in the lower section, and you can see that we've automatically made that slice of our view quickly and easily. This is a great way for us to create these views without going through the process of creating a traditional section view. Let's focus in on the next area, and that's creating tolerance modifiers. Whenever you have dimensions and you need to add more information, whether they're ISO notes or just more information directly to them, we now have tolerance modifiers that allow us to do that. Whether in the general area or next to the specified limits, we can now add any additional information we need directly using these tolerance modifiers. The next update that I think can save quite a bit of time is some of the changes to creating whole tables. When we create a whole table, the first thing that we're going to do is select our reference and then the face that contains all the holes that we're interested in. New for 2019 is the ability to adjust the tag order. Let's go ahead and place this table so we can see what some of these updates will do. By going into the table properties, we can change the tag order to reduce toolpath. The reduce toolpath will calculate the shortest distance to connect all the holes, providing the most efficient order from a manufacturing perspective. We also have the radial option. This radial option will tag the holes in a radial position about our selected origin. That's not the end of these updates. We also have some manual updates to the tag type. For example, if we want to make any changes to the tag notes, we can modify those parameters directly in the properties or by right-clicking on the cells, and we can modify the tag prefix and add any additional information we want. I'm going to go ahead and add a tag prefix of AH, and notice that it's applied to all the holes of the same size. There are some other updates to tables in general that I want to talk about. If we want to, for example, make the border above these cells a bit different, we can select them, and we can go into our border edit, and we can adjust the thickness of these by selecting that line and modifying its properties. We have control to modify those around any selected cells by increasing or decreasing their thickness or removing them altogether. For example, if I select this and I select all the lines on my border that I want to adjust, I can set it to none and completely remove that edge from my border. The next thing I want to talk about is view updates. I'm going to select a few views here and use the exclude automatic update option. Whenever you're dealing with large assemblies and you make changes, you don't want all of your views to update all the time because you'll constantly be waiting for these updates to process. Let's say that we modify some parameters in this model. Let's make this flange on the back side 13. We'll go back to our drawing. And notice now all of the views that we had that we excluded are surrounded by this orange border. At any point in time we decide we're ready to update those views, we simply need to select them and use the update view option. Notice that these two views are updated, but there's still a few more that we need to manually update based on their specific view orientation or selection. This is a great way to save precious rebuild time from constantly having to go back and forth to your model or assembly and having those updates take forever only to realize that you need to make one more change. The last thing that I want to mention is going to be bill of materials. The bill of materials table has this preview image on the left-hand side that allows us to see exactly what the components or subassemblies are that we're referencing. This can be extremely handy when we're dealing with components that are hidden inside of this view. But not only that, when we export this table, we can save it as an Excel file, and we can use the thumbnail option. And the thumbnail option will allow us to see those thumbnails directly in our Excel file. You can see here that the bill of material lists these images in their own column, and now we have a great way to help us identify exactly what those parts are without the need for going directly back to the SOLIDWORKS assembly. So whether you rarely make detailed drawings or you're constantly spending all day at the computer making these detailed drawings, any amount of time saved is going to be more time that you can spend designing your next product rather than detailing the one you just finished.